Do you ever listen to fluent English speakers and think, how do they make it sound so easy? The way they link words together, how naturally their thoughts seem to flow. There's rhythm, melody, and confidence in every sentence. You can almost feel that they don't think word by word. They just speak. Today, we're going to train that exact ability together so that you can not only understand fluent English, but also speak it naturally in your daily life. Welcome, my friend. I'm Sarah, and this is your space to practice English the way real people use it, calm, natural, and full of meaning. You don't need a notebook right now, just your ears, your voice, and a little curiosity. Because when you start listening deeply and speaking with intention, your fluency grows faster than you think. So take a moment, breathe, and get ready to train your English brain. Let's start with something real. Imagine you walk into a cafe early in the morning. The smell of coffee fills the air. You're still waking up, a little sleepy, and the barista smiles and says, "Good morning. How are you today?" What would you say? Most learners might reply, "I'm fine, thank you." But fluent speakers rarely say that. Instead, they use expressions that sound alive and friendly, like "pretty good so far," or "can't complain," or even "still waking up, but getting there." These tiny differences make you sound more natural, more human, more connected. Now let's practice that together. I'll say the first phrase, and then you repeat it out loud after me. Pretty good so far. Again. Pretty good so far. Good. Now, can't complain. And once more, can't complain. Finally, still waking up, but getting there. Excellent. These are small lines, but they carry tone, emotion, and personality, something textbooks often forget to teach. Now imagine your friend replies, "Yeah, same here. I stayed up too late last night." You want to continue the conversation naturally. Instead of asking robotic questions like, "Why did you stay up late?" you could say something more natural like, "Oh, really? What kept you up?" Or, "Couldn't sleep." Or even, "Same here, I was scrolling on my phone for hours." Notice the rhythm? These sentences bounce softly, like a friendly chat, not like a test. Let's repeat a few of them together. "Oh, really? What kept you up?" "Couldn't sleep?" "Same here. I was scrolling on my phone for hours." When you say them, don't focus on perfection. Focus on flow. Feel the way one sound blends into another. The goal is connection, not perfection. Now let's listen to that short cafe scene again, all together. The barista says, "Good morning. How are you today?" You smile and reply, "Still waking up, but getting there." Your friend joins in, "Yeah, same here. I stayed up too late." You respond, "Oh, really? What kept you up?" They laugh and say, "You know me. Social media again." That's it. That's real daily English. Natural, expressive, not too formal, not too serious. Now, let's break down what makes this natural. Number 1, contractions. Native speakers almost always use them. They don't say, "I am going to the cafe." They say, "I'm going to the cafe." They don't say, "I do not know." They say, "I don't know." So from now on, I want you to notice contractions whenever you hear them. Try repeating sentences both ways and listen to the difference. I am fine. I'm fine. I do not know. I don't know. The second one feels faster, lighter, and more natural. That's the power of contractions. Number 2, emotion. Every fluent English conversation carries feeling, even in simple words. Try saying good morning in 3 ways. First, bored, good morning. Now cheerful, good morning. And now sleepy but polite, good morning. See how one phrase can sound completely different depending on tone? Fluency isn't only about words. It's about rhythm, attitude, and energy. Let's bring that into another everyday example. Imagine you're meeting a coworker or classmate for the first time. They say, "Hey, nice to meet you." You could say, "Nice to meet you too," but let's make it sound more real. Repeat after me, "Nice to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Glad we finally crossed paths." These are natural phrases you can use in friendly or professional situations. If you're not sure which tone fits, think about the setting. With a coworker, keep it friendly but polite. With a close friend, add warmth or humor. For example, if your friend is late, you might say, "Well, look who decided to show up." That's teasing but friendly. Try saying it with me, lightly and playfully. "Well, look who decided to show up." Perfect. When you use humor naturally, it shows confidence and comfort in English. Now, here's a small challenge for you. Picture 2 friends talking about their weekend plans. One says, "I'm thinking of going hiking on Sunday." How would you respond? Take a second to think. You could say, "That sounds great," or "I love hiking too," or even, "Where are you planning to go?" These kinds of responses show interest, and that's how real conversations stay alive. Let's practice. "That sounds great." "I love hiking too." "Where are you planning to go?" Excellent job. You see, fluency is not about using big words. It's about reacting naturally, showing emotion, and using the rhythm of real conversation. Every time you hear a new phrase, dansant, to just memorize it, feel it, repeat it out loud, imagine when you'd use it, and let it become part of your instinct. Now, let's imagine a more advanced scene, a daily conversation at work. Your manager says, "Hey, can you send me the report before lunch?" You could simply say, "Sure." But fluent speakers add warmth or clarity. They might say, "Sure thing, I'll get it to you soon," or "Absolutely, I'll have it ready by noon." It's polite, confident, and natural. Let's try them together. "Sure thing, I'll get it to you soon." "Absolutely, I'll have it ready by noon." Great work! If you make small changes like these, people start to see you as confident and fluent, not because you use advanced vocabulary, but because your tone, speed, and connection sound authentic. Here's another tip. When you speak, don't rush to fill silence. In natural English, short pauses show you're thinking. For example, that's a good question. Or, "Let me think for a second." Or, "I guess it depends." These small fillers make your speech sound more natural than a long, robotic answer. Repeat these softly with me. That's a good question. "Let me think for a second." "I guess it depends." Perfect. Now you sound thoughtful, not memorized. You might be wondering, how do native speakers make their English sound so smooth? The secret is linking. Instead of pronouncing every word separately, they connect them. For example, they don't say want to, they say wanna. They don't say going to, they say gonna. It's not slang, it's rhythm. So instead of I want to go, say I wanna go. Instead of I am going to sleep, say I'm gonna sleep. Try them with me. I wanna go. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna call you later. Excellent. These patterns exist in daily speech, so the more you hear and repeat them, the more natural you'll sound. Everyday fluency comes from repetition. The more you shadow native speakers, the faster your listening and speaking sync up. That's why listening and speaking practice must go together. Listen with your whole body, your ears, your mouth, even your breath. Feel the rhythm, not just the words. That's how you move from understanding English to living in English. Before we continue with our next conversation scene, take a quick pause and notice how you feel right now. Are you more relaxed? Are you starting to hear the music of English? Good, because from here, we're going to dive into slightly longer daily conversations, the kind that help you handle real situations naturally. Let's imagine you're catching up with a friend after work. You both sit down with your coffee, and your friend says, "So, how was your day?" This is a very common question, but how you answer it can completely change how natural you sound. Instead of replying with, "It was good," try something like, "Pretty busy but not too bad," or "A bit stressful but I survived," or even "Same old, same old." These are real conversational phrases that add color and emotion to your English. Repeat them with me. Pretty busy but not too bad. A bit stressful but I survived. Same old, same old. You're doing great. Now your friend might ask a follow-up question like, "What kept you busy?" This is your chance to share more naturally. Instead of giving short answers, expand just a little. For example, say, "We had a big meeting this morning," or "I was finishing a project," or "I had to deal with some last-minute stuff." Notice that these phrases are casual but sound fluent. They flow easily, and that's what makes the difference between speaking English and living in English. Fluency comes from comfort, not perfection. When you feel relaxed, your English becomes more natural. So let's practice a summé. Speaking flow together. Imagine this. I'll say one sentence, and you'll answer aloud with your own voice. Ready? I say, "Hey, how was your day?" Now answer naturally, using one of the phrases we practiced. Good. Now I say, "What kept you busy?" And again, answer casually, like you're talking to a real person. That's perfect. Every time you do this, you're building confidence and fluency together. Let's move to another everyday situation, making small talk. Small talk might sound meaningless, but it's how people build comfort and trust in English. Imagine you're waiting in line at the store and someone says, "Long line today, huh?" You could respond, "Yeah, seems like everyone decided to shop at the same time," or "Tell me about it," or "I know, right? Always when I'm in a hurry." Repeat with me softly. "Yeah, seems like everyone decided to shop at the same time. Tell me about it." "I know, right? always when I'm in a hurry. These short, emotional responses make your English sound friendly and real. Another great tip is mirroring, repeating a little part of what the other person said. For example, if someone says, "I can't believe how hot it is today," you can say, "Yeah, it's been crazy hot lately." That repetition helps the conversation flow naturally. It's something fluent speakers do all the time without even thinking about it. Try that style next time you chat with someone in English. Just pick one word or phrase they said and respond naturally around it. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about how to show interest during conversations. You don't always have to ask questions. Sometimes just using short, natural reactions works. Try these with me. Really? No way. That's awesome. Oh, wow, seriously? I can imagine. These are powerful little tools that keep a conversation alive. Without them, your replies can sound flat or distant. With them, you sound involved, curious, and confident. Now, let's create a natural mini conversation using these. Listen first. "Hey, guess what? I got a new job." "No way, that's awesome." "Yeah, it starts next week." "Wow, congratulations. Are you excited?" You see how alive that sounds? That's real English rhythm. Now, repeat after me from the start. "Hey, guess what? I got a new job." "No way, that's awesome." "Yeah, it starts next week." "Wow, congratulations. Are you excited?" Perfect. This kind of practice helps you internalize rhythm, intonation, and confidence. Remember, fluency doesn't come from memorizing 1,000 words. It comes from mastering the simple patterns that appear every day. That's why you're doing this right, listening, repeating, and speaking in full sentences. Every repetition strengthens your English reflex. Now let's go a bit deeper. Conversations aren't just words, they're emotions. Let's talk about expressing feelings naturally. Imagine you're talking about a movie you watched. Instead of saying, "It was good," you could say, "It was really touching," or "It made me think," or "Honestly, I didn't expect it to be that good." Try saying them with me. "It was really touching." "It made me think." "Honestly, I didn't expect it to be that good." See how these sentences sound real and emotional? They show your opinion without sounding too formal. You can also use tone to show feeling. If something surprised you, say, "Oh, that's interesting," with rising intonation. If something disappoints you, "That's too bad." Try both with me. "Oh, that's interesting. That's too bad." You can feel the emotion even without big words. That's real communication. Now, let's do a mini fluency exercise. I'll give you a sentence and you'll add your own reaction naturally. Ready? I say, "I missed my bus this morning." You could say, "Oh no, what happened?" Or, "That's the worst," or, "Hate what?" And that happens. Good. Now I say, "I got promoted at work." You could say, "That's amazing," or "Congrats," or "You totally deserve it." Perfect. This exercise helps you think quickly and respond naturally, one of the biggest fluency skills. By the way, if you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. It really helps us reach more learners like you, and it keeps you updated with new lessons every day. Thank you for being here. It means a lot. Now let's move on to a slightly longer scene. Meeting someone new at a social event. You walk in, someone introduces you, and they say, "So, what do you do?" A natural answer might be, "I work in marketing," or "I'm a teacher," or "I'm still studying." But fluent speakers often add a little more to keep the conversation alive. For example, "I work in marketing, mostly social media stuff," or "I'm studying engineering, almost done with my degree." It gives the listener something to respond to. Let's try a few together. "I work in marketing, mostly social media stuff. I'm studying engineering, almost done with my degree." Great. Now imagine the person replies, "Oh, that sounds interesting." You could say, "Yeah, it's challenging but fun," or "Yeah, I enjoy it. Keeps me busy." Notice how these phrases make your tone sound open and natural. Try them with me. "Yeah, it's challenging but fun." "Yeah, I enjoy it. Keeps me busy." Excellent. Here's a fun tip. When someone asks you a question, you can end your answer with a return question. This shows confidence and keeps the conversation balanced. For example, "I work in education. How about you?" Or "I'm from Brazil. What about you?" It's small, but it makes a big difference in flow. Repeat after me. "I work in education. How about you?" "I'm from Brazil. What about you?" Perfect. You're learning how to turn a simple QA into a real back and forth. Let's combine all of this into a quick dialogue you can shadow. Listen carefully first, then repeat it line by line. "Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Sarah." "Nice to meet you. I'm David." "So, what do you do, David?" "I work in marketing, mostly social media stuff." "Oh, that sounds interesting." "Yeah, it's challenging but fun. How about you?" "I'm a teacher. I teach English online." "No way! That's awesome!" You can hear the flow. It's natural, friendly, easy to follow. Now shadow it with me slowly. Ready? "Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Sarah." "Nice to meet you. I'm David." "So, what do you do, David?" "I work in marketing, mostly social media stuff." "Oh, that sounds interesting." "Yeah, it's challenging but fun. How about you?" "I'm a teacher. I teach English online." "No way! That's awesome!" Fantastic job. That's real conversational rhythm. Now that you're starting to feel the natural rhythm of English conversation, let's take it one step further. Imagine a situation where you're meeting someone again after a long time. Maybe it's a classmate, a coworker, or even an old neighbor. They smile and say, "Hey, it's been ages. How have you been?" Instead of replying with something short like, "I'm good," try to sound warm and expressive. Say, "I've been great, just keeping busy," or "It's been crazy lately, but I can't complain." These small details make your English feel alive. Try them with me. "I've been great, just keeping busy." "It's been crazy lately, but I can't complain." Perfect. When you reconnect with people in English, emotions matter. Let's practice a few emotional responses that help you sound authentic. For example, "Wow, it's so good to see you again," or "I can't believe it's been so long," or "You haven't changed at all." Repeat them softly after me. Wow, it's so good to see you again. I can't believe it's been so long. You haven't changed at all. Great job. These phrases work in friendly, natural conversations, exactly how real English speakers talk. Now, let's go into another daily context, talking about plans. Imagine your friend says, "What are you up to this weekend?" Most learners answer, "Nothing much," but fluent speakers often add more details. For example, "Nothing much, just planning to relax." Or, "I might catch a movie," or, "Probably just hanging out with some friends." These phrases keep the conversation flowing. Repeat after me. Nothing much, just planning to relax. I might catch a movie. Probably just hanging out with some friends. Excellent. You're building the rhythm of real speech. Now imagine you want to ask the same question. You could say, "How about you? Any plans for the weekend?" Or, "What about you? Doing anything fun?" Or, "Got any exciting plans coming up?" Repeat with me. How about you? Any plans for the weekend? What about you? Doing anything fun? Got any exciting plans coming up? These are friendly, simple, and very common in natural speech. Using them shows confidence and curiosity. Let's now shift to one of the most useful real-life skills, reacting naturally in conversations. In English, people often react not just with words, but with sound, emotion, and small expressions. Try saying, "Oh, really?" with surprise. Now, "Oh, really?" again, but in a neutral tone. Then, "Oh, really?" in a skeptical way. See how the same phrase changes meaning completely just by tone? This is the power of intonation. When you control tone, you control connection. Now let's practice more natural reactions that show interest. Repeat softly after me. That's interesting. Good for you. I didn't know that. Seriously? You're kidding. No way. Excellent. These short reactions are like spices in conversation. They make everything sound alive. Without them, even good English can sound flat. With them, even simple English sounds fluent. Next, let's move to expressing opinions, a skill that shows advanced fluency. Imagine you're talking about a new movie or a news story. You could say, "I thought it was really well done," or, "Honestly, I expected more," or, "It was okay, but not my favorite." These are real, natural responses. Let's practice. I thought it was really well done. Honestly, I expected more. It was okay, but not my favorite. You sound more natural already. Fluent English speakers also use softeners, words like kind of, sort of, maybe, or a bit, to make their opinions sound polite or less direct. For example, instead of saying, "It's boring," say, "It's kind of boring." Instead of "He's rude," say, "He can be a bit rude sometimes." Let's repeat them together. It's kind of boring. He can be a bit rude sometimes. These small words make your tone sound more natural, less harsh, and more like real conversation. Now let's have a quick speaking exercise. I'll give you a topic and you'll answer naturally. Ready? The topic is your favorite type of music. You could say, "I'm really into pop lately," or "I kind of like jazz," or "I've been listening to a lot of rock music these days." Try one out loud now. Good. Now another topic, weather. You could say, "It's been so hot lately," or "I can't wait for winter," or "I kind of like rainy days." Excellent. The key here is not to translate in your head, just respond with natural flow. Let's move into a slightly more advanced skill. Storytelling. This is where you can really sound fluent. When someone asks, "How was your weekend?" you can answer with a mini story. For example, "It was great. I met up with some friends, we went out for dinner, and then watched a movie. It was nice to relax after a busy week." That's short, but it feels real. Repeat after me, slowly. "It was great. I met up with some friends, we went out or dinner, and then watched a movie. It was nice to relax after a busy week." Perfect. When you tell mini stories like this, your English starts to sound natural and fluent. Let's expand that story a little and focus on linking words. Listen carefully. So, on Saturday, I met up with some friends. We hadn't seen each other for a while, so it was really nice to catch up. We had dinner at this little Italian place. The food was amazing. After that, we went for a walk, just chatting and laughing. Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. You see how natural it sounds? That's conversational storytelling, real rhythm, real feeling. Now try repeating the short version with me. On Saturday, I met up with some friends. We hadn't seen each other for a while, so it was really nice to catch up. We had dinner at this little Italian place. The food was amazing. After that, we went for a walk, just chatting and laughing. Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. That's how you tell simple stories that sound fluent and warm. Now let's practice transitions, the words that connect your ideas smoothly. Fluent English speakers use transitions like actually, by the way, anyway, you know, and so all the time. Let's use them in short examples. Actually, I changed my plans. By the way, did you talk to Anna? Anyway, where was I? You know, it was kind of funny. So what happened next? These linking words make your speech sound spontaneous and natural. Try them one by one again with me. Excellent. Fluency is not just speed, it's smoothness. So instead of speaking fast, focus on connecting your ideas naturally. For example, if someone asks what you did last weekend, don't rush. Take small pauses. Well, on Saturday, I stayed home most of the day. Then, in the evening, I met some friends for dinner. On Sunday, I just relaxed and did some reading. That's natural, confident, fluent English. Now let's do a listening and speaking rhythm practice. Listen to this short dialogue first, then repeat after me line by line. A. Hey, what did you do over the weekend? B. Not much, really. Just stayed home and watched a few movies. A. Sounds nice. Anything good? B. Yeah, I finally watched that new series everyone's talking about. A. Oh, really? Was it good? B. It was all right. Kind of slow at first, but it got better. Now, shadow it with me slowly. Hey, what did you do over the weekend? Not much, really. Just stayed home and watched a few movies. Sounds nice. Anything good? Yeah, I finally watched that new series everyone's talking about. Oh, really? Was it good? It was all right. Kind of slow at first, but it got better. Great work. By practicing like this, listening, repeating, and feeling the flow, you're training your fluency muscles. You're learning not just what to say, but how to say it, and that's what makes all the difference. Let's keep going and make your English sound even smoother. Imagine you're at work or school and someone asks, "How's everything going?" It's such a common question, and your response can show personality and fluency at the same time. You could say, "Pretty good, just the usual," or "busy as always," or "can't complain." Let's say them together now. Pretty good, just the usual. Busy as always. Can't complain. Excellent. These are short, relaxed answers that native speakers use all the time. Oh, they sound natural because they fit the rhythm of real conversation. Now imagine the conversation continues. The other person might say, "Yeah, same here. I've been buried in work." You could respond with empathy. That's another sign of fluency. You might say, "Oh, I know that feeling," or "Tell me about it," or "You and me both." These small, emotional phrases help you sound more connected and natural. Repeat with me, "Oh, I know that feeling. Tell me about it." You and me both. Perfect. Fluency isn't just about the words you say. It's about how you make others feel. When your tone is warm, people want to keep talking to you. That's how you build relationships through English. So whenever you speak, think of your tone as a smile that travels through your voice. It doesn't matter if you make a small grammar mistake. What matters is connection. Now let's talk about transitions between topics. In natural English, people don't jump from one idea to another suddenly. They guide the listener smoothly. For example, if you're changing the subject, you might say, "By the way," or "Speaking of that," or "Now that you mention it." Try them with me. By the way, speaking of that, now that you mention it. Great. These phrases are like bridges. They keep your sentences connected. Let's practice that in a short example. By the way, have you heard about the new cafe downtown? Speaking of movies, did you see the new Marvel one? Now that you mention it, I still haven't finished that series. These kinds of natural transitions make your conversations sound real, not rehearsed. So whenever you're talking, don't worry about being perfect. Focus on being connected. Now let's practice expressing agreement and disagreement, another big part of sounding fluent. Imagine your friend says, "I think learning English is easier when you watch movies." You could agree by saying, "Yeah, I totally agree," or "That's true, it really helps with listening." To disagree politely, you could say, "Maybe for some people," or "I see what you mean, but I prefer podcasts." Repeat after me. "Yeah, I totally agree. That's true, it really helps with listening. Maybe for some people. I see what you mean, but I prefer podcasts." Perfect. Notice that even when you disagree, you stay polite and conversational. Now imagine you're in a group discussion, maybe in class or at work. You can use phrases like, "That's a good point," or "I hadn't thought of it that way," or "Exactly, that's what I was going to say." These small expressions show engagement. Try saying them with me. "That's a good point. I hadn't thought of it that way." "Exactly, that's what I was going to say." Wonderful. These are the phrases that make your English sound smart and smooth. Let's make it practical with a quick conversation example. A. I think working from home saves a lot of time. B. That's true. It definitely makes life easier. A. But sometimes I miss seeing people in person. B. Yeah, I get that. It can feel a bit lonely. Listen again, and then repeat each line after me. I think working from home saves a lot of time. That's true. It definitely makes life easier. But sometimes I miss seeing people in person. Yeah, I get that. It can feel a bit lonely. Great job. Now, let's work on how to ask for clarification, another real-life skill. In natural English, when you don't understand something, you don't have to say, "Can you repeat, please?" all the time. You can use soft, friendly phrases like, "Sorry, what was that?" Or, "Could you say that again?" Or, "I didn't catch that." These are much more natural. Let's practice them together. Sorry, what was that? Could you say that again? I didn't catch that. Perfect. You can also show interest when someone explains something to you. Try saying, "Oh, I see," or "Got it," or "That makes sense." Repeat softly. "Oh, I see. Got it. That makes sense." These are small but powerful. They make your listening sound active and engaged. Let's imagine another scene, making plans with friends. You could say, "Do you want to grab lunch later?" Or, "Are you free this weekend?" Or, "Let's hang out sometime." Simple, casual, and natural. Let's repeat. Do you want to grab lunch later? Are you free this weekend? Let's hang out sometime. Excellent. And if someone invites you, you can respond with, "Yeah, sounds great," or "Sure, I'd love to," or "Maybe another time, I'm a bit busy this week. Practice with me." "Yeah, sounds great." "Sure, I'd love to." "Maybe another time, I'm a bit busy this week." Perfect. You're sounding more natural with every repetition. Here's a fun challenge. Rhythm shadowing. I'll say a full mini dialogue, and I want you to repeat it after me line by line, matching my tone and rhythm. Ready? A. Hey, are you free this weekend? B. Not sure yet. Why? A. I was thinking of going to the beach. Want to join? B. That sounds amazing. Count me in. Now, repeat with me slowly. Hey, are you free this weekend? Not sure yet. Why? I was thinking of going to the beach. Want to join? That sounds amazing. Count me in. Wonderful. That's how fluency feels. Natural, light, and expressive. Another key skill is how to end conversations smoothly. Instead of abruptly saying goodbye, you can use friendly closing lines like, "Anyway, I should get going," or "It was great talking to you," or "Let's catch up again soon." Let's repeat. "Anyway, I should get going." "It was great talking to you." "Let's catch up again soon." Perfect. These sound polite and natural in almost any context. Let's add one more layer, talking about feelings in a calm, natural way. Suppose someone asks, "How are you feeling about your presentation?" You could say, "A bit nervous but excited," or "Pretty confident actually," or "Just hoping it goes well." These are soft, real expressions that sound like daily English. Try them now. A bit nervous but excited. Pretty confident, actually. Just hoping it goes well. Excellent. And if someone shares their feelings, respond with empathy. I totally get that. Or, you'll do great. Or, don't worry, you've got this. Repeat softly. I totally get that. You'll do great. Don't worry, you've got this. Perfect. As you can see, every real conversation is a balance of listening, reacting, and expressing. The more you practice these small patterns, the more fluent you'll sound. The goal isn't to memorize, it's to feel the rhythm of English. That's when your speech stops sounding like study and starts sounding like life. Now, take a second to breathe and notice how far you've come already. You've practiced greetings, emotions, reactions, transitions, and storytelling. All of these together build the foundation of true fluency. Every small phrase, every little pause, every expression, they're shaping your English voice, and that's something to be proud of. Let's take things a little deeper now. You're doing amazing so far, and I want you to really start thinking about how your English feels when you speak. Fluency is not just about speed, it's about ease. You know that feeling when you're talking in your first language and the words just come out naturally? That's what we're building here. The secret is to focus on rhythm and emotion more than grammar. Grammar matters, but connection matters more. When people feel comfortable talking to you, they don't notice the small mistakes. They notice the warmth and confidence in your tone. Now let's move into one of the most important daily conversation topics: talking about experiences. People love sharing stories, and being able to describe your experiences fluently helps you connect instantly. Let's say someone asks, "Have you ever traveled abroad?" You could answer, "Yeah, I've been to Italy once. It was beautiful." Or, "Not yet, but I really want to." Or, "Yeah, I went to Japan last year. It was incredible." Let's say them together now. "Yeah, I've been to Italy once. It was beautiful." "Not yet, but I really want to." "Yeah, I went to Japan last year. It was incredible." You see how naturally these answers sound? They're short, but full of life. Now let's take it further. Imagine someone says, "Oh, really? What did you like about it?" You could reply with something emotional like, "The food was amazing," or "The people were so kind," or "The atmosphere was just magical." Try repeating these with me. The food was amazing. The people were so kind. The atmosphere was just magical. That's it. You're not only describing, you're expressing, and that's where real fluency lives. Let's talk about describing your daily life in English. When you can talk about simple things smoothly, everything else becomes easier. Try saying this with me. I usually wake up around 7. Then I make some coffee and check my messages. After that, I start work. In the evening, I like to go for a walk or watch a show. These are simple lines, but they form the backbone of conversation. You can use them in small talk, interviews, or just daily chat with friends. Now imagine you want to add more detail. You can use linking words like "and then," "after that," "usually," or "sometimes." For example, I wake up around 7 and then I check my phone. After that, I take a shower and get ready. Sometimes I listen to music while making breakfast. Let's practice them together. I wake up around 7 and then I check my phone. After that, I take a shower and get ready. Sometimes I listen to music while making breakfast. Excellent. These transitions make your sentences flow like a story. Let's practice a quick conversation. Listen first, then shadow with me after. A. So, what's your morning routine like? B. Well, I usually wake up around 7 and make some coffee. A. Nice. I can't start my day without coffee either. B. Same here. After that, I check my messages and get ready for work. Now repeat with me slowly. So, what's your morning routine like? Well, I usually wake up around 7 and make some coffee. Nice. I can't start my day without coffee either. Same here. After that, I check my messages and get ready for work. Perfect. This is exactly how natural English conversation flows. Short turns, emotional tone, and rhythm. Now, let's talk about showing interest in others, an essential skill for real-life English. Imagine someone is telling you about their weekend, and they say, "I went hiking on Sunday." You can respond naturally with, "Oh, that sounds fun," or "I've always wanted to try hiking," or "Where did you go?" Let's say them together. "Oh, that sounds fun. I've always wanted to try hiking. Where did you go?" Excellent. When you show interest, conversations become smoother and more engaging. Now let's add some real-life listening practice. I'll tell you a short story and you just listen first. Last weekend, I went out with some friends to a new restaurant downtown. The food was really good, but the service was super slow. We ended up waiting almost an hour for our meals. Still, we had fun just talking and laughing. After dinner, we went for ice cream and took a walk by the river. It was such a nice night. Now repeat parts of it after me, slowly. Last weekend, I went out with some friends to a new restaurant downtown. The food was really good, but the service was super slow. We ended up waiting almost an hour for our meals. Still, we had fun just talking and laughing. After dinner, we went for ice cream and took a walk by the river. It was such a nice night. Great job. You're not only practicing vocabulary, you're training the rhythm and flow of natural storytelling. Let's talk about giving opinions, politely and fluently. For example, someone asks, "What do you think about working from home?" You could say, "Honestly, I love it," or "It's convenient, but sometimes I miss the office," or "I think it depends on the person." Let's say them together now. Honestly, I love it. It's convenient, but sometimes I miss the office. I think it depends on the person. Perfect. Notice how each one sounds natural, flexible, and real. You can also make your opinions sound softer and friendlier with words like maybe, kind of, sort of, or I guess. For example, maybe it's just me, but I like quiet mornings, or I guess it's kind of relaxing, or it sort of helps me focus. Try these softly. Maybe it's just me, but I like quiet mornings. I guess it's kind of relaxing. It sort of helps me focus. Excellent. This tone makes your English sound balanced and confident, not too direct, not too formal. Now, here's a new challenge. Speaking about your future plans. Someone might ask, "What are you planning to do next year?" You can say, "I'm hoping to travel," or "I want to start a new course," or "I'm planning to focus more on my career." These are clear, confident sentences that show fluency. Let's say them together now. I'm hoping to travel. I want to start a new course. I'm planning to focus more on my career. Very good. Now, imagine your friend responds, "That's exciting. Where do you want to go?" You could say, "I'd love to visit Europe," or "Maybe Japan. It's been on my list for a while," or "Honestly, anywhere with good food and nature." Try these too. "I'd love to visit Europe. Maybe Japan. It's been on my list for a while." Honestly, anywhere with good food and nature. You're doing great. Let's do a fluency exercise. I'll say a question. You respond naturally. Don't overthink it. Just speak out loud. Ready? What did you do last weekend? How are you feeling today? What's your favorite kind of movie? What do you usually do after work? Any plans for next weekend? Perfect. Even if you paused for a moment, that's okay. Thinking in English takes practice, and every time you do this, your brain becomes faster at forming ideas directly in English. Now, before we move into the final part of our session, take a second to smile. Yes, really, smile. Because you've just practiced natural conversation for over 20 minutes with rhythm, tone, and emotion. That's not easy, but you're doing it and it's paying off. Keep breathing, keep repeating, and keep believing that you can sound fluent, because you already sound better than you think. Now that you're comfortable with real-life conversations, let's focus on building longer and more confident replies. One of the biggest signs of fluency is when you can add details, not choose, rally, without stopping too much to think. For example, if someone asks, "How was your weekend?" instead of just saying, "It was good," try saying, "It was good. I spent some time with family and finally relaxed a bit." Or, "It was nice. I caught up on sleep and watched a movie I'd been meaning to see." These short extensions make your English sound fuller and more natural. Try them with me now. "It was good. I spent some time with family and finally relaxed a bit." "It was nice. I caught up on sleep and watched a movie I'd been meaning to see." Excellent. Now let's talk about how to sound more natural when you start and end conversations. For example, when you meet someone, you can say, "Hey, it's good to see you," or "How have you been?" or "What's new?" instead of just "Hi." Try those with me. "Hey, it's good to see you." "How have you been?" "What's new?" And when you're leaving, try something like, "Anyway, I should head out," or "It was great catching up," or "Talk soon, okay?" Repeat softly. "Anyway, I should head out. It was great catching up. Talk soon, okay?" Perfect. These little touches make you sound friendly and confident. Let's practice an everyday scenario. Imagine you bump into an old friend on the street. I'll play both roles so you can listen, then you'll shadow after. A. "Hey, wow, it's been forever. How have you been?" B. "Oh, hey, I've been good, just busy with work. How about you?" A. "Same here, just trying to survive another week." B. "I know the feeling. Anyway, we should catch up soon." A. "Definitely. Let's grab coffee next week." Now shadow it slowly. Hey, wow, it's been forever. How have you been? Oh, hey, I've been good, just busy with work. How about you? Same here, just trying to survive another week. I know the feeling. Anyway, we should catch up soon. Definitely. Let's grab coffee next week. Nice work. You're sounding smooth and connected. Now let's move on to one of the most advanced and fun parts of conversation, giving opinions naturally. Imagine your friend says, "I think learning online is easier than going to school." You could say, "Yeah, I see what you mean." Or, "That's true. Online learning is super convenient." Or, I'm not sure. I still like face-to-face classes. Let's repeat those together. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's true. Online learning is super convenient. I'm not sure. I still like face-to-face classes. Great job. The key here is tone. Make it sound relaxed and thoughtful, not robotic. You can also extend your opinions by adding short reasons. For example, I like learning online because I can set my own schedule. Or, I prefer in-person classes because I focus better that way. Repeat softly. I like learning online because I can set my own schedule. I prefer in-person classes because I focus better that way. Excellent. The more details you add, the more fluent and confident you sound. Let's practice polite disagreement, which is a very advanced skill. Instead of saying, "I disagree," you can say, "I see your point, but I think," or, "That's interesting, though I feel a bit differently." Or, maybe, but I've had a different experience. Try these with me. I see your point, but I think, "That's interesting, though I feel a bit differently." Maybe, but I've had a different experience. These sound friendly, respectful, and natural, the way fluent English speakers express disagreement in real conversations. Let's do a small role play to bring this to life. Listen first. A. I think it's better to wake up early and study in the morning. B. Yeah, that's true, but I usually focus better at night. A. Really? I always feel tired at night. B. Yeah, I know. Everyone's different, though. Now repeat each line with me slowly. I think it's better to wake up early and study in the morning. Yeah, that's true, but I usually focus better at night. Really? I always feel tired at night. Yeah, I know. Everyone's different, though. Wonderful. You're learning to express your thoughts with confidence and flow. Now, let's focus on rhythm, the heartbeat of spoken English. When native speakers talk, they don't pronounce every word clearly. They stress only the important ones. For example, listen to this sentence. I'd love to go, but I can't tonight. The stressed words are love, go, and tonight. Everything else is softer. Let's practice that rhythm now. I'd love to go, but I can't tonight. Once more. I'd love to go, but I can't tonight. Good. This kind of stress makes your English sound alive, not flat. Let's try another example. I'm gonna call you later. Stress call and later. Repeat after me. I'm gonna call you later. One more time. I'm gonna call you later. Excellent. By practicing rhythm, you sound more natural and confident, like a native speaker without forcing it. Now, let's do a fast listening practice. I'll read a short, natural conversation quickly, and then we'll slow it down together. A. Hey, what are you up to this evening? B. Not sure yet. Maybe watching something on Netflix. You? A. Thinking about grabbing dinner. Wanna join? B. Yeah, sounds good. Text me the time. Now, let's slow it down and repeat. Hey, what are you up to this evening? Not sure yet. Maybe watching something on Netflix. You? Thinking about grabbing dinner. Wanna join? Yeah, sounds good. Text me the time. Fantastic work. Practicing slow and fast helps your brain understand real conversation speed. Let's talk about hesitation phrases, the words fluent speakers use when they need a second to think. Instead of going silent, you can use soft fillers like, well, let me see, you know, or I guess. These aren't mistakes. They make your speech natural. Try them with me. Well, let me see. You know, I guess. Great. Now try to use them in sentences. Well, I'm not sure yet. Let me see. Maybe tomorrow? You know, it's been a long day. I guess we'll find out soon. Perfect. This is how fluent people buy time while keeping the flow. Now here's an exercise to put it all together. I'll say a question, and you respond with a natural, full answer that uses emotion, rhythm, and tone. Ready? What did you do last night? What kind of music do you like? Do you enjoy learning English? What's your favorite season? How's your week going so far? Excellent. You're not just answering, you're communicating. You might not realize it yet, but this kind of active speaking practice rewires your brain. Every time you listen, repeat, and shadow, your pronunciation, speed, and confidence improve. You're building muscle memory, not just in your mouth, but in your mind. And soon, speaking English won't feel like an effort. It'll just happen naturally, like breathing. So keep going strong. Don't rush. Don't overthink. You're doing amazing, and each sentence you speak brings you closer to real fluency. Let's keep this energy going into the final section. You've made it all the way here, and that says a lot about your commitment to learning. You've been listening, repeating, practicing, and feeling the rhythm of English through every sentence. And now, in this final part of our session, we're going to focus on one thing that separates fluent speakers from everyone else: confidence in real communication. Fluency isn't just about knowing what to say. It's about trusting yourself to say it, even when it's not perfect. Let's imagine a real situation. You're talking to a native speaker for the first time, maybe a colleague, a classmate, or a new friend. You start the conversation naturally. Hi, how's it going? They smile and reply, Good, just a bit tired. You? You can say, Same here, it's been a long day, or I know what you mean, I barely slept last night. Notice how simple and friendly those lines are. Let's repeat them together now. Same here, it's been a long day. I know what you mean, I barely slept last night. Perfect. These small exchanges help you build trust and connection right from the start. Now imagine the conversation continues. They ask, So, what do you do? You could say, I'm an English learner, trying to get better every day, or I'm working and studying English on the side. Let's say them softly. I'm an English learner, trying to get better every day. I'm working and studying English on the side. See how natural that sounds? You're not trying to sound perfect. You're being real, and that's what makes you sound fluent. Here's another secret. Fluent English speakers don't use complicated vocabulary in daily life. They use simple words, but they use them naturally. For example, instead of saying, I am elated, they just say, I'm really happy. Instead of, I am exhausted, they say, I'm so tired. Instead of, it was astonishing, they say, it was amazing. Try saying them with me now. I'm really happy. I'm so tired. It was amazing. Beautiful. Remember, simple words, natural tone, confident flow. Now, let's practice speaking naturally about feelings and opinions. I'll give you a sentence, and I want you to repeat it with emotion. Ready? I'm so glad I started learning English. Sometimes it feels hard, but it's worth it. I can actually see myself improving. It's such a great feeling to express myself in another language. Excellent. That's the voice of someone who's growing every day. Let's move on to longer, real-life listening and speaking practice. Imagine you're chatting with a friend after a long week. Listen first. A. I'm so happy it's finally Friday. B. I know, this week felt endless. A. Any plans for the weekend? B. Yeah, I might just relax and catch up on sleep. A. Good idea. I'm planning to go hiking if the weather's nice. Now shadow the full conversation slowly. I'm so happy it's finally Friday. I know, this week felt endless. Any plans for the weekend? Yeah, I might just relax and catch up on sleep. Good idea. I'm planning to go hiking if the weather's nice. Wonderful. You see, it's not complicated. It's conversational, expressive, and real. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful habits you can develop: daily shadowing. Shadowing means listening to natural English and repeating immediately, trying to match the tone, speed, and emotion. It trains your mouth, your brain, and your ears at the same time. You can shadow YouTube videos, podcasts, or even this very lesson. Start with short phrases, then build up to full conversations. The more you shadow, the faster you'll start thinking in English instead of translating. Let's do a mini shadowing exercise together. Repeat after me, as if we're speaking in sync. I can understand English better every day. My speaking is improving step by step. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. Fluency is coming, one sentence at a time. That's it. Feel that confidence? That's your new English voice. Another key to fluency is rhythm. English has a natural up and down melody. Let's feel it with a few examples. Say this with me. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? That movie was so funny. I can't believe how fast this week went by. You're getting so much better at this. Great job. That's not just pronunciation. That's music. Every language has its rhythm, and English moves like a wave. Stress, relax, stress, relax. Once you feel it, everything becomes easier. Let's shift to emotional fluency, expressing how you feel in different tones. If you're excited, say, "That's awesome." If you're disappointed, "Oh no, that's too bad." If you're surprised, "Really? I didn't know that." If you're amused, "That's hilarious." Repeat each one with real feeling. "That's awesome." "Oh no, that's too bad." "Really? I didn't know that." "That's hilarious." Perfect. When your voice carries emotion, your English sounds alive. Now let's do a reflection moment, something every advanced learner should practice. Think about why you started learning English. Was it for work, travel, to connect with people, to understand movies or music better? Whatever your reason is, remember it right now, because motivation fuels fluency. When you feel tired or stuck, remind yourself why you began. Say this softly with me. I'm learning English to open new doors. Every word I learn brings me closer to my goals. I'm proud of how far I've come. I'm not perfect, but I'm improving every single day. Beautiful. That's the mindset of a fluent speaker. Now, let's take one final real-world conversation practice. Listen first, then shadow with me after. You sound more confident in English these days. B. Thanks. I've been practicing a lot lately. A. That's awesome. What's been helping you the most? B. Honestly, just speaking out loud every day, even to myself. A. That's a great idea. I should try that too. Now, slowly. You sound more confident in English these days. Thanks. I've been practicing a lot lately. That's awesome. What's been helping you the most? Honestly, just speaking out loud every day, even to myself. That's a great idea. I should try that too. Perfect. That's real, simple, emotional communication. Now, let's wrap this up with something powerful. Fluency isn't just about knowing English, it's about feeling it. It's about expressing who you are without fear. Every time you listen, repeat, and speak, you're rewriting your habits. You're teaching your brain to think in English. It doesn't happen overnight, but every minute of focused, calm practice brings you closer. Before we finish, take one deep breath and repeat these affirmations with me. I can speak English clearly and confidently. I understand more every day. I'm becoming fluent through practice, not perfection. I'm proud of myself for showing up today. I'm ready for real conversations. Perfect. You're not just learning, you're transforming. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. You've worked hard, and I'm really proud of how much progress you've made just by staying consistent. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep smiling through every sentence. Remember, English fluency isn't about being fast or perfect. It's about being present, confident, and connected. If you enjoyed this session, don't forget to keep practicing with it. Listen again tomorrow, shadow the parts that felt challenging, and watch how your rhythm improves each time. You'll notice your confidence growing naturally, one conversation at a time. And before we go, I just want to say thank you for choosing to learn with me today. I know it takes courage and patience to keep going, but you're doing amazing. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and you'll continue to grow every single day. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. Until next time, take care keep learning, and keep speaking English with confidence. You've got this.